Hey, how's it going? This is Augustus from Ask a Wise Guy, and I'm about to get wise with you. Now, first of all, I want to say, I don't do this a lot, but I just came across something, and I had to admit, I believe this is something that has to be done, and I'm not bashing on anyone. That's not what this video is about. I actually hope for the best for this gentleman, but I just had to say something about this because we have to know how to say enough is enough, and it's not like let me get to the point. I've seen this video today, and I had to admit I'm quite disappointed in what I've seen. We have a gentleman on YouTube, and he's posting videos of advice, right? And in a second I'm going to play a clip, but he goes by the name of Rom Wills. Yeah, Rom Wills. Alrighty. And like I said, I'm not bashing on anyone, but I hope for the best for this man. But in this video, the name of his video is Why Sevens Are the Coolest Women. Now, I'm not sure where this gentleman came from. I'm not sure where he's from. But I know where I'm from and the way that I was raised. It's not nice to label women. Not like that. And see, I presume that this gentleman didn't really think about the fact that he was, labeling women. But that's understandable, because a lot of us men, fellas, if you're listening to this, we talk like that every day and we don't think nothing of it. But then, we end up in a confrontation with the girl that we're really trying to stick it out with, and we're really trying to make things work with, and things are going bad, and we wonder why. See, and this video, I was quite disappointed in this, because I've seen it pop up on YouTube, and I know there's a lot of filth on YouTube, and there's a lot of good as well. But I was hoping that even in the title, that there would be some piece of sound advice, and the second I seen this gentleman, I thought that there would be some sound advice coming from him, because after all, he has a little bit of age on him, and if you ask me, he has too much gray hair, too much wisdom, or too much age, I'll put it like that, to be speaking like this, and this was very disappointing. On YouTube, we know that we could run into some videos that really aren't productive, and they some videos that will lead you astray if you just take that advice, and I can see if it was the Hirsch twins. I mean, the second you click on their video, you know what to expect, right? But this gentleman is portraying himself to be giving sound advice, and there are honest people, innocent, honest people that's actually listening to this crap, and they're taking it in. and they're believing that they can that they can have a happy, relationship. They think that their relationships will get better if they take this advice, and in reality it's just crap. I mean, we all, I believe that we all have the right to exercise our freedom to speak about what we want on these sites. But if you're portraying yourself as someone with sound advice, as a professional, and this gentleman, he has books, he has audio, recordings, and along with these videos, and it's supposed to be sound advice, but I'm listening to this gentleman and how he's talking about women, and I'm not gonna say too much street stuff, because I know there's many that's listening that they don't live by those rules and by those laws. And of course the streets, those aren't that's not the place of the best role models, but there are principles there that if you follow them, you will be able to survive in any situation. And I will say this: there was a rapper. I don't know if you guys are into battle rap, but there's a battle rapper by the name of Big K, and he said there's a difference between an OG and an old head. Or in other words, there's in layman terms, there's a difference between someone that is respected for their manhood, and those that are that portray themselves as people that are respected for their manhood, but they're just incompetent. And they have a series of making mistakes and not living up to them, and not standing up to or owning up to their mistakes. And I'm listening to this gentleman, and he's, he comes across as a gentleman that is respected for his manhood, and he has sound wisdom. But I'm listening to this video, and it's reminding me of certain friends that and they just lost their virginity. And they're talking about women, because if anyone has had that conversation, if you had that conversation with one of your friends, fellas, and even ladies, and this person, they're young, and they just experienced the sensual touch from their significant other, right? How many of you know, if they're young, they're not going to be saying the wisest things? They're going to be excited. They're going to be, all over the place, But this is something that they're not used to, and they're learning about this thing, and they're excited, and Now, if you're young and you just experienced this, it makes sense for you to say some things that doesn't make sense. But if you're an older gentleman, excuse me, and you come across as a professional, and you're talking like this, something's wrong there. And like I said, there's people listening to this, trying to, looking for real advice. People without father figures that are looking for sound father figure like advice. And some even looking for father figures to, get advice from. And some of these people are hearing this crap and they're taking it in. This isn't good. I'm highly disappointed of this. But like I said, I'm not trying to bash this gentleman. I'm not trying to bash Mr. Wills. I hope for the best in his journey, but I am putting this out there as a message. Mr. Wills, please be more cautious about the advice that you're giving these guys, because you got a lot of young men, even young ladies that are listening to your videos, and because you come across as a professional, as a positive model, they're listening to every word and they're taking this in. So please be more cautious about how you give this advice across, and please be sure to study out the things that you speak on before you just give these things out as advice. And I will be praying for you. I will be in agreement that you will come to grips with this. Because your videos might not be viral. Every video you put out might not be viral, but you got a good number of people. I see this video's been out for one day and you already have 5,000 views, 5,600 going on 6,000 views. That's almost 6,000 people that's hearing why sevens, quote unquote, are the coolest women. So I will be in agreement. I will be praying for you with that. And if you want to discuss this further with me, my information is on my channel, and I would like to discuss this further. I'll be willing to do that with you. But back to the rest of the to the men, the young men, the older men, and the ladies alike listening to this video. We have to stop labeling our women. I don't. Well, in a sense, I have some experience with prison ministry. And I deal with people on a day-to-day basis that are well versed. Actually, my family, they're well versed in the prison ministry, and along with other close friends. And in the jails, there's a lot of titles. But the worst title of all is to know that your name doesn't matter anymore in that scenario. And your name is a number. Your name is a title. Why would we do that with our women? I think sometimes as men we think all of our women are just that, titles and numbers. I think we take our women as they're dumber, or dumb, just dumb. Period. I'm not gonna say dumber than because we. I'm gonna say it's. I think we take our women as dumb sometimes, as ignorant. Because, if you title a woman like this, and then you expect to have a woman to respect you, she has no reason to respect you. She has no reason to trust you. She has no reason to be around you, if this is how you look at women. Ladies, do you know Cleopatra? I do. And I could bet you $100 that I could see her in you too. See, in the Return of Cleopatra, we're going to cover everything that you need to know in order to bring out that Cleopatra. See, what most don't know about Cleopatra is that she was the only queen that came from Greece, was a queen in Egypt and Rome. She was sexy, smart, and let's not forget, royal. See, most women today don't believe that they deserve to be treated like a queen. Some believe that they deserve more, and some simply just want something new. But in Cleopatra, we're going to figure out exactly what it is that you're looking for and how to get it. So make sure you subscribe and click on that beautiful yellow bell so that you know the second I drop something new. Can't wait to see you there. You know, so fellas, we gotta get this together. And see, we do a lot of this stuff without thinking about it, because right now, this is the era, and I want to be very careful in how I say this, but this is the era of the player. So you got a lot of players, you got a lot of little boys walking around acting like they're men and trying to portray that they're men, real men, and really they're just trying to be players, and they're trying to live the life of players. You know, we were in the era of the pimp, and everybody was trying to be pimps. You know, but now you got cats trying to, they don't even want to put up with the pimp life. So now they're portraying themselves to be players. I think it's about time we brought the gentleman back. I think it's about time. And to tell you the truth, you know, if we don't take action and take the initiative to bring the gentleman back, what's going to happen is, you know, we're going to lose our women, and there will be next to no order in the home. See, because now people don't even have the focus of building a home. You know, at least with a pimp, has it in his mind to build some kind of homey environment. He may have, you know, 3 to 20 women living in his home and running his home, but it's a home. The player doesn't even want to build a home. This is how far we fall. This is where we're at, you know. And when us men, when we title our women as sevens, as dimes, as deuces, as they say in New York, you know, this is not a good thing, man. How can you expect a woman to respect you? I mean, I'm looking at this girl in this video by Mr. Wills, and you know, it's beautiful black sister, you know, beautiful. And as I'm looking at her and I'm looking at the title, all I see is this number being imprinted on our head, because that's what we're doing. And I'm sorry, ladies, if that's heavy, but what I'm more sorry about is the fact that we're doing this to you. See, and I will do everything in my power to allow the Lord, not me, but I'm doing everything in my power to allow the Lord to work through me and to bring all of the men, the real men, together so that we could cut this crap out. See, I like one thing Dr. Tony Evans said. He said most men woo the woman so that they can marry her, when the whole idea, the real objective for a real man is to marry the girl so that he can spend the rest of his life sweeping her off her feet. Ladies, I'm gonna tell you right now, I will be putting out more videos on this, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not gonna get that kind of treatment from a little boy. You're gonna get that treatment from a man. You're not gonna get that kind of treatment from a player portraying himself to be a man. You're only gonna get that from a man. See, fellas, a lot of y'all didn't even catch what I just said. That's alright, I'm gonna put out much more videos on things of this nature. But catch this. I hope that you could catch this. Dig deep inside yourself and pull out every piece of manhood that you got in you so that you could hear this. Alright? You want to be a real man in everything that you do. You don't want to budge. You don't want to be knocked off your feet. You don't want to be set back. You need to stand on your manhood and say, I don't care how many people's doing this. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. This isn't what a real man does. See? And I really feel for a lot of the young men that don't look into these things, because I'm telling you, when these trends come in, I mentioned this in another video, but you have men wearing rompers. I didn't even know what rompers were. I've seen them on women, and I've seen them on men playing rugby. But that has feminine written all over it. It has frail written all over it. I don't even think I could bring myself to shake someone's hand that will wear such a thing. See? And when these trends come in, because it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And when these trends come in, if you're not a real man, if you don't stand on your manhood, The media will strip it from you. And you'll be making a lot of childish decisions. You'll be making videos like why sevens are the coolest women. This is very disappointing. It's very disappointing. We gotta get it together, fellas. We gotta get it together. You know, this is to you don't want to title women. You don't want to throw women in a box. Women is the greatest creation given to us, fellas. The greatest gift from God. We were created from the dust. Created from the dust. Women were formed from a perfect creation that was no longer dust. So women are a upgrade on perfection. How can you have an upgrade to something that's perfect? That's what our women are. That's what our women are. And we see it in how strong they are when we give them our crap. And how long they stick with us. And this is very big. This is very big. Women are the greatest creation known to mankind. Even in scripture it says when imperfected deities came to this earth, the first thing they did was they took our women for themselves. We even see that in Greek mythology. What's the first thing Zeus did when he came to the earth? He seen a woman. He said, I got to have that. Now I'm being a little, comical, but that's pretty much what he said. Let's keep it real. This is who is raising you, fellas. This is who raised you. If you grew up without a father, who was there? And if you grew up without your mother, who was the mother figure that was there? This is what we're dealing with, man. This is not a game. Respect your women. The women in your life, respect them. This is a big deal. There's right now I must admit, in this country, our women are in a state that we wouldn't necessarily be too proud of. But see, this is where being a real man comes into play. Are you gonna let that knock you down? Are you gonna allow that to push you back and set you back? And see, at the end of the day, a real man doesn't make decisions based on how the women in his life treat him or act towards him. A real man allows his manhood to affect the women in his life. A A real man lets his manhood affect the women in his life. A real man doesn't allow different actions and a different mind state of the women around him to move him. See, the man is the man is the tree stump of this world. See, the women are women, they're the fruit. How silly would it look to have one big piece of fruit sitting on the ground, and you have a tree stump growing out of that fruit instead of the other way around? How silly would that look? I guarantee you that tree fruit, right? It wouldn't have productive seed, and if it did, it might be as weeds. You know, it might have to fall into that category. So I don't think I would want to have a garden of tree fruit, right? But a fruit tree, that makes more sense to me. And that's how we look right now, fellas. That's how you look when you allow the people around you to move your manhood. And that's how you look when you put out videos like why sevens are the coolest women. Don't you ever label a woman. Respect your women. You see an older lady walking down the street, and she's crossing the street, and I don't personally see you walk her across the street. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. But we will have words. I'll leave it at that. Respect your woman. Alright, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that. And to wrap this up, like I said, I'm not bashing on anyone. But this stuff gotta stop. This stuff gotta stop. Alright? So love you guys, take care, subscribe, like, and stay wise.